All right, welcome back to our Thursday class. This is my new pumpkin. Other than that, much is the same from last Thursday. So today we're going to focus on two particular pranayamas, and pranayama is a breathing technique. And pranayama is said to pranayamas and asanas are the life forces of yoga. Asana being the movement technique in practice, and the pranayama being more of the world of breath and this internal experience that you then release into the external. Lots of symbolism there. And today we're going to focus on two pranayamas, the Ujjayi breath, which we've done a little bit together, and also the 3-point yoga breath, which, you know, it's just called like 3-point yoga. Sometimes has a different name, but the idea being it has like 3 sources where it lives in us. And then we're going to accompany that with a little bit of stretching. We're going to get into like some deep stretching, but we're going to use pillows to help us get there. And then hopefully we'll end on some nice, with a nice little reading on finding some deep peace inside of us. So yeah, that's our day. And I hope for the next half hour, you can find some soothing tunes, optional Spotify list in the newsletter. And yeah, so let's get started. So if you want to find yourself onto your mat, I'm gonna stay a little closer to the screen just so you can hear me. We're gonna start with our upright position, a comfortable seated sequence in our lower body, or sequence like position of our lower body, and just very naturally become a little bit more aware of your intake of breath and then the release on the exhale. Just take a couple moments. You can close your eyes if that helps you kind of zone in. And we're going to start today with our 3-point breath. And for this, areas of your body to be aware of is your diaphragm, your like mid chest, which is kind of the rib cage area, and then the upper chest, which is kind of where your collarbone is, where you know, if you're checking to see how your anxiety is and you're holding your heart, that's your upper chest area. So a diaphragm being the lower belly, we often do like contractions there. Middle belly being kind of where the ribs are, and upper chest being just below the collarbones. And we're going to take a couple moments to breathe into each one of these parts on their own. And with the diaphragmatic breath, really think of the diaphragm as pressing out on the inhale, and then pressing back towards the spine on the exhale. So again, finding your alignment, ears over shoulders, over hips. Let's just take a couple moments with just the diaphragm. You can close your eyes or lower your gaze to kind of tap in. So through your nose, deep inhale to your diaphragm, feel it lift. And then exhale through the nose again, feel it press back in. And take this in a couple of breaths. You can even place your hand there to really feel it. Sending that breath all the way to the bottom. And one more. And on that exhale, let your breath return to normal. We're going to move to our mid-chest breath. And this is interesting because you have a little bit more dimension here. Yes, you have that forward and backward motion like your diaphragm, but you also have your outward motion. So this sort of 3D space. So really think of it opening broadly and widely as you breathe, not just forward and back. And for this, you can place your hands anywhere in front on your chest area, on the side, to really feel the front and side area. Just keep those shoulders low. Again, lower the gaze, breathe in deeply through your nose, and exhale through your nose. So send it to the mid-chest now. Really deep, full breath. And then press it all the way on the exhale. One more cycle. Excellent, and letting your breath return to normal. We're gonna move to the upper chest. This is where often our shallow breath comes from. So when we're nervous and we take those shorter sips of breath, often we're not dropping deeper into our diaphragm. We're keeping all that breath in our chest. And for this exercise, we're gonna deliberately bring our deep breaths here and then release them from that same source. So if you'd like to place a hand over your heart to feel into this, that's an option. Find your alignment, close your eyes, and all through your nose, assuming you're not stuffed up, deep inhale to your chest, upper chest. Take 2 more cycles, deep inhales and exhales in the upper chest. Great. And now to bring it all together, our 3-point breath, you're going to take a deep inhale to your diaphragm. And on that same inhale, feel the breath traveling upward to your mid-chest. And let it finish that inhale, uprising breath in your upper chest. And then on the exhale, you just release it. That was a really very small exhale. I should have had more prepared. I was like a little balloon, just like. However, the idea is that we'll have these deep, great breaths that originate in our diaphragm, make their way up, 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 and then we really release. That was a little better on the exhale. So I'm gonna leave this up to you to play around with. We're gonna do for maybe 30 seconds or so, however many breaths you generally take in that time. No forcing, no bracing, just letting the breath really drop in and mindfully sending it to these different points in our body. So find a position. You can pick a mudra if you'd like, index or middle finger to your thumb to symbolize the infinite beyond us, you know, all these good things. Kind of our circle of energy in our fingers, circle of energy in our laps, and now a cycle of energy in our breath. All right, here we go. 3-point breath. You can release through open lips if you like, to really emphasize the release, the letting go of the breath. Take 2 more rounds, maybe slowing them down to feel into each part. And letting your breath slowly return to its natural rhythm, keeping your eyelids open. Just take a moment, eyes open or closed, up to you. Just take a moment to feel into your body now. Notice any openness you might feel. Sometimes breathing, intentionally bringing attention to our breath, makes us feel not so open until we get used to it. So just listen to what your body's telling you right now. Breathing is one of the most natural things we can do. So if you find yourself, when you bring your attention to your breath, that you get nervous or you get anxious, just know that this is a natural process, and that with time and with patience, breathing can also feel more natural. We can tap more into that. And it doesn't always have to be the case that you just avoid breathing exercises. It just is something you just gotta maybe work through and really explore a little bit more about where that anxiety is originating in your body, so that when the breath comes, you can really let it go. I'm hoping that you're feeling a little more open. This channel, maybe you even feel into a little bit of channel breath here. It feels a little more open. And now let us move into our asanas. keeping our pranayamas, our breath work, flowing as we move. And just for here, I just encourage you to bring mindful inhales and exhales into our stretching. So to begin, let's just place one foot in front of the other, sitting up nice and tall. You can put a cushion under your seat if you like. And we're just going to bring 4 or 5 circles in one direction, trying to keep your shoulders down and your back flat, just hinging at the hips, feeling into the side as much as down and below. Sorry, I'm kidding. Sorry, keep going. When my phone, which is linked to my laptop, does anything, my whole screen goes off. And when you've done 4 or 5, meet at the top, and we're gonna switch legs before switching directions. Take a deep inhale at the top, and then exhale. Bring 4 or 5 circles, really reaching through the side as well as down through the body. No pressure here. Just kind of warming up some of our body. Working the core very gently, working the thighs and the hips. Even the glutes are getting a little stretched. This is one of my favorites. People look, like really funny in a full class. Everyone's like tornadoing out. It's very lovely. Here we're gonna start with our pillows. So definitely 1, if not 2. So if you would like to send one under your seat, that's pillow 1. And then the other pillow, this is the one I definitely encourage if you're not using the seat pillow. You're gonna bring your left foot in towards the inner thigh of your right leg. You're gonna bend that right knee, place the pillow underneath. Might take a little bit of configuring. And then here we're gonna get that same deep breath, long energy, up through our spine, in through our diaphragm. And on the exhale, begin to melt your body forward. You can certainly round your spine, but I encourage you to stay as long and straight and energy outward as long as possible. And when you really find that edge where you're like, yeah, this is my limit, then round down. So you really get that stretch before the settling. And you can reach underneath that leg. You can stack multiple pillows and just try to let your neck relax. And I'm gonna leave you for a couple moments, not going too far away, just letting you be with yourself, flexing that foot, head is heavy. Pranayama breath, breathing in and out regularly. Feel where the tightness lives and send some relaxing breath towards those spaces. The exhale is that relaxing, melting energy. And when you're ready, just carefully roll up, up, up through the spine, 1 vertebrae at a time, taking it nice and slow, especially if you have hamstring issues. I have those as well. We're gonna just switch sides. So if you wanna give them a little shake, cleanse it out. Cleanse it out means, but cleanse it out, whatever. We're gonna pull in our right foot towards our left leg. And even if you're so flexible, you can do this without a pillow. The pillow is a really nice touch, especially for gentle, deep stretching, because it gives you the support to actually go further than you might without it. So even though it's a prop, it's encouraging more stretch. It's like a nice, comfortable support. So inhale to be tall, find that channel where your breath would flow. And then exhale, keeping your back as straight as you can. And then when you reach this edge, you're like, all right, I'm here. Just round your spine. Find your hands either underneath your ankle, reaching towards that flexed foot. Try to do some sort of hybrid thing. Just let your head be heavy. Find your breath in this posture. Take one more deep inhale here. And then exhale, slowly roll up, extra slow if you have any issues with your hamstrings or even your lower back. And now remove the pillow. You're gonna shake it out. It's kind of resetting. And now we're gonna do both legs. So bend those knees, slide one or multiple pillows underneath. Get nice and tall, flexing those feet. And then exhale. Again, try to have as much of a flat back as possible, kind of that heart. You're almost like on a diagonal, like pitching over a cliff, but it's a beautiful cliff. We're looking at a forest below. Just pitching over. And then when you are ready to melt down, you can reach underneath those ankles. You can reach to the flexed feet. Let your head be heavy. Let your breath be deep here. Notice where you're holding tension. And send your mind's eye to that place. Can you work on that spot, just one of those spots with every exhale, releasing? Releasing a little more, even if it's just in your mind's eye. One more breath here. And then exhale, roll on up. Give them a little shake. Excellent. Now we're going to go into a little straddle. This stretch can feel fairly intense, so I really encourage one, if not two pillows underneath your seat. You're going to have a nice little cushion underneath your bum, and just open your legs up. They do not have to open wide. I always say this, but on Zoom, it looks like I'm doing like a full split, but I'm not. I'm not. I just have like weirdly long legs, and it's an optical illusion. You can, if this already is intense, stack another pillow underneath you, option one. Option two, bring your legs in a little more. Other option, bend those knees and stick pillows underneath your knees. So you have like the full, just like you're basically sitting on a couch of pillows on the floor. So if you're doing the knee option, which I will join you. Good. Good. You're going to plant your fingers on either side of your hips and just inhale to be tall and to send that belly button slightly forward. It's almost like a little tip forward. You might already feel it in your hip creases and your inner thighs. Good. And then we're going to place your left hand on the floor, right hand up in the air, flexing or pointing your toes. You're going to lean to the left side. Keeping your heart up towards the sky, as much feels good. Even though your left side is compressed here and your right side is really stretched, can we bring even and equal breath in? And even and equal breath out. You press that right shoulder back into its little pocket. And then inhale to press yourself up. You can use your hands for support. Just take a moment at the top. And then other side, right hand comes for support in front of you. Left hand lifts. And then on an exhale, send it out over to the right side. Sending that left shoulder back into the pocket. Gaze, if not up at the sky, intention towards the sky. And then you can use your hand for support. Inhale to come up. Just take a moment to lower your shoulders. And then exhale, we're going to kind of spider walk our fingers out. Same thing. If you have the ability to bend a little bit with a flat back, find where your edge is there. If you're already hunching over, which is natural, it will come, just play around with sitting up tall in your straddle and finding where the edge is there. And getting familiar. You can even bring like little circles in with your body just to kind of push that edge a little bit. If you are spider crawling out, find the edge. And when you can't go anymore or you feel it's ready, you're ready, let your head go. And you might be leaning a lot on your arms here, and that's a-okay. Again, try to find your breath deep and regular, dropping in all the way through the belly, passing up through the middle chest and the upper chest, And then releasing on the exhale. Wherever your legs are, just make sure your knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. When they turn forward, it's like not the best for our body's alignment. And we're going to take 2 more breaths here. Really just sink in. Feel what we feel here. And on their next inhale, breathe deeply at the bottom, and then let your exhale be how you push yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. If you like sitting on a cushion, keep sitting on it. You can use your hands to bring your feet into a little crisscross position. Send your pillows up. We're just going to take a gentle twist at the top. So here, if you want to inhale your arms tall, exhale, we pivot to the right, left fingers meet the top of your right knee, and you can just give it a gentle twist to the right. Inhale up, right fingers to left knee, left fingers behind, gentle twist to the left. Take this 2 more times on each side. Try to keep that uplift in your spine. The breath moves you, so let the breath initiate all movement. Wonderful. And when you've had enough, we're going to make our way back into our neutral sitting position. And we're going to go into our second pranayama technique of the day, our Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi meaning victorious breath. I've referred to it as uplifting breath in the past. I like to describe breath as uplifting, so I feel it literally lifts you up. But in this case, it's actually your victorious uplifting breath. And for this one, your mouth is actually closed, but let's just take a couple of practices with our mouth open. So the idea is there's a slight compression, a soft compression in the back of your throat, and it creates, oh, another person. Excellent, welcome if you just joined us. So it creates a slight compression in the back of your throat. And the idea here is that it creates some friction, and that's where the heat comes from. And one way to practice, what is this constriction of the back throat? Well, think of fogging up a mirror. So let's like have our mirrors here, and actually pretend that you're fogging up your hand. You hear that sound that it creates, that it almost sounds, I call it Darth Vader breath. I've heard that sound of an ocean. The sound is something that we can focus on as we breathe to really bring mindful awareness to it. Try it one more time. Now this time, notice the feeling on your hand. It's warm. Like you actually are creating a warmth with this breath. So the Ujjayi breath, it slows us down, but it also heats us up. I don't know why I'm doing these gestures. This is Catherine language for slows us down and heats us up. So let's try one with our mouth open, and then we're going to close our lips. And the reason we're trying it that way is because I think a lot of people just think the noise comes from their nose, like blowing out snot or something. So it's going to look like this. You're going to take a deep breath in, and then exhale, and then close your mouth. One more time. So you still really feel that sensation is coming from your throat and not the nose. In other words, just let your throat create the sound of an ocean. Let's practice it a few times together. So just take a deep breath in, mouth can be closed, and then let it resolve. So hopefully you start to tap into, you feel the soft palate in the back compressing slightly. You sound like Darth Vader, you sound like the ocean. And as long as the noise isn't coming from your nose, you're doing it right. So the idea here, it's a victorious breath, but it's slow and it's warm. So let's take a couple of moments just to breathe into our Ujjayi breath. This is our breath work practice, so now's a good time. So find your little throne or something you'd like to sit on. If you'd like to cross your other leg in front than you usually do to just feel into the awkwardness a little bit. Optional, mudra with your hand. There's like a whole bunch. We can have a class on that alone, or you can just have them resting. Find your alignment, ears over shoulders, over hips. You can start by taking a deep breath in, and then closing your lips, closing your eyes, gently compressing the back of your throat. We'll be here for a few moments. Just take one more cycle. And letting your breath return to normal. Eyes still closed, just feel into how you're feeling, how that experience was. Any sensations in your body, any thoughts that popped into your mind, or mental images. I immediately thought of the ocean. I was like, I am the ocean. I am lady of the night. But I know the ocean is not a soothing image for everybody. But for me, I'm like, yes. And it's always the ocean at night. It's like a very romantic image for me. So that's it. Now that we've had a little practice, we're going to try to take that breath into our asana. And our asana, my fave, banana asana. We're just going to move through banana asana using our Ujjayi breath. So I'm going to talk you through the banana asana, but you are going to, as soon as you would like to start, tap back into that Ujjayi breath, that victorious, slow Vader breath. So tap in whenever you'd like. And as I talk, you're going to come to a seated position, feet, soles of the feet on the floor. You're going to bring your arms out, palms up, just sit really uplifted. You can slightly tilt back to make sure that heart is shining up. Bring some breaths here, Ujjayi breath. And now slowly you're going to contract that lower belly and roll down onto the ground, keeping that breath steady, extending your legs out beyond you, and then extending your arms up past your ears. Tap again into that Ujjayi breath. While we're breathing, we're just going to walk our heels over to the left side. Our booty stays put. And we're going to kind of reach our arms to the left side as well. So if someone were looking above, they would see a banana shape or a C shape or a U shape to one side. Again, stretching the right side of our body and compressing the left. Let's bring our Ujjayi breath to this asana. Letting your breath remain steady, we're going to just carefully walk our feet over to the right side. And your hands in front of your pumpkin, if you have one. No. It's really sad looking now. So your arms to the right side, feet towards the right side. Booty is like your anchor right in the center. Your banana on the other side. And literally my cliche is that like our yoga community, we're like a bunch of bananas. And that's, you know, in 2020, you take your wins. That's a win for me. So bring in your Ujjayi breath. Noticing the stretch on the left side and the compression on the right. Keeping your breath steady, walking your feet back to the center, your arms overhead, just give yourself a stretch. And let your breath return to normal as you gently hug in your legs and prepare for Shavasana. So if you'd like to take a couple of rocks to really settle in, if you want to get your parka or whatever, like those like big comfy blanket sweaters. Get whatever you need here. And then you're gonna like just splay out on the sand. I'm in this beach metaphor mode. Legs out. You're like a starfish. I watched a lovely little documentary called My Octopus Teacher on Netflix, and now everything I frame through like ocean creatures. Like, we're a starfish, we're an octopus community. Anyway, more on that hopefully never. But just have your arms wide and relaxed. Your feet can flop to the sides, and just gently lower your gaze. Feel your eyes almost heavy in your head. Your eyebrows are not tense. In fact, you can almost feel them kind of melting down the sides of your face. Hopefully that's relaxing and not terrifying. Feel the crown of your head actually relaxing. Feel your jaw release. Your tongue just lies heavy in your mouth. Now your neck and your shoulders, really loosen them up. Just let them be heavy and let them just hang. And let that relaxing, soothing quality just move over you. Like the way a cloud in a sunny sky casts a shadow. It just passes over you and then moves on. Allow that relaxation to just gently eclipse you for a couple moments. And while you are finding a place of peace, I'm going to rise just to get our little reading together. Let your breath just be however it wants to be. And whatever you're thinking of, whatever self-doubt or criticism or thoughts of the day, just take a moment and let them go. Let them go. We'll come back to them, but let them go for now. Just enjoy kind of blissful nothing. And if you're judging yourself for not feeling that, let that too go. Okay, and I'm going to give you a short reading for today. Well, short for me is always long, but on the surface, it seems that the present moment is only one of many, many moments. Each day of your life appears to consist of thousands of moments where different things happen. Yet, if you look more deeply, is there not only one moment ever? Is life ever not this moment? This one moment, now, is the only thing you can never escape from, the one constant factor in your life. No matter what happens, no matter how much your life changes, one thing is certain: it's always now. When you make friends with the present moment, you feel at home no matter where you are. When you don't feel at home in the now, no matter where you go, you will carry unease with you. Since there is no escape from the now, why not welcome it? Become friendly with it. When you say yes to what is, you become aligned with the power and intelligence of life itself. Only then can you become an agent for positive change in the world. I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I am not my sense perceptions, and I am not my experiences. I am not the content of my life. I am life. I am the space in which all things happen. I am consciousness. I am now. I am. Let's just take a deep breath. Let the words pass through you, pass by you, however they land. That was Eckhart Tolle from Stillness Speaks. And today in our practice, while we lie in our Shavasana, contemplating the now and living the now evermore, I will leave you here. Hopefully you're cozy and can stay for as long as you need. So right now I offer you namaste and just eternal gratitude and thanks for being a part of this community. Any donations, which are completely optional this week, will go to Black Lives Matter at the Philadelphia chapter. So thank you, everyone. Have a good evening. Hopefully we feel a little more wholesome. Good night, everyone.